It's been just over 24 hours since Liverpool's 2-1 win over Tottenham. A thoroughly deserved victory and what should probably have been more, let's be honest. Tottenham didn't look themselves, to be honest. Since Firmino's disallowed goal early on, Tottenham never really looked themselves. We can take the fact that Ali wasn't there, Loris wasn't there, we can take that into account, but by all means this wasn't a Tottenham side that were firing on the usual cylinders. But it's a fantastic victory, a victory that in many ways put a staple down for us. It was his first big test of the season in what is certainly a very, very hectic schedule coming up. We've got Paris Saint-Germain on Tuesday, that's going to be a big one. Should hopefully get at least a draw in that game. Anyway, that's looking forward a bit too much. In the meantime, let's have a look at what the press have been saying regarding Liverpool's victory yesterday. There's also been quite a bit published about Firmino. Thankfully, he's alright. I did say in my first video that hopefully the Spurs game would be the game that Firmino finally does come back, because first few games I didn't feel he looked himself, to be honest, and yesterday, yeah, he looked like he were back. It looked like the Firmino that we knew. The Firmino we saw all last season, linking up play, pulling defenders away, getting to balls, linking up play, were brilliant to see. So let's have a look at what we've got. Powerhouse PSG prepared for Anfield Champions League test. And we already know, of course, that they do have quite a lot of players out for this game. Firmino works like an animal, says Mane. See, this is one of the best things about news now. You get to see a lot of interviews and quotes that you do miss off of just relying on Sky Sports or ESPN or something like that. Liverpool forward Sadio Mane has paid tribute to his colleague Roberto Firmino, saying he works like an animal to make life easier for his forward colleagues. Because Mane does go on to say, lots of people like to talk about me and Salah. It's nice to hear those things, but the strength of this Liverpool team is the collective. He goes on to say, you also can't forget that there's a guy up front called Firmino who works like an animal for us and makes things easier. And the guys behind us do some extraordinary work. We try to benefit from that and help the team go forward. Which is right, of course. I mean, the only reason that Liverpool get to play how they do is it is a team effort. The only reason Mane, Firmino and Salah play how they play is because of how good the work behind them is. I mean, in particular, I thought Wijnaldum were fantastic yesterday. It was brilliant. Milner, again, I'm sure I saw on a Sky Sports stato that he ran the furthest. I mean, this lad's, 33 years old and he's outrunning kids, pretty much. Beggars belief that he's actually the age that he is. It's absolutely mental. If we go on to have a look. Well, it's always nice to hear from a big Van Dijk, isn't it? Let's have a look at what Virgil's been saying. Liverpool defender Virgil van Dijk is anticipating a difficult encounter with Paris Saint-Germain on Tuesday. I don't think difficult is really the right word, but let's have a look at what he had to say. Last season is in the past. We have to be ready to win and to concentrate on that. We will have to defend together as an entire team. It will be difficult against all these great players, but I think that we are capable of defending well against PSG. Which, going by the defending recently, I'd say he's got a very good point. We've looked very good defensively, very good. Absolutely no problems whatsoever with us. Gomez and Van Dijk, spot on. They look imperious. Absolutely fantastic. PSG's manager goes on to say, it was a good rehearsal, good for the confidence ahead of Tuesday's match in Anfield against Liverpool. It will be a big test for us, but we are confident. And they should be, because they are a fantastic team. But, like I said, they do have numerous players out, so it will be a very good chance for Liverpool to really put a statement down on this season's Champions League. Let's forget about last season. It's easy to remember it and what went wrong and the ifs and the buts, but at the end of the day, we lost. Once Salah left that pitch, it was game over, to me. I mean, who knows what might have happened if Karius didn't do what he did, but I won't hold it against him. You know, he had a bad game. It's done him in. It's over. Salah, same with you, mate. Forget about it. Move on. Let's concentrate on this season's Champions League. Wijnaldum can become a world-class defensive midfielder. Why he has Emre Can and Jordan Henderson to thank. This is on the Anfield edition. So we can have a little look to see what they say on here. Jorginho Wijnaldum has adopted a new role at Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp, a role that he is flourishing in. But establishing himself as a defensive midfielder was discovered by luck. We have Emre Can and Jordan Henderson to thank for that. Goes on to say, Tuesday the 10th of April 2018, Manchester City host Liverpool in the Champions League quarter-final second leg. Liverpool had run right at Anfield the week before, hosting a 3-0 thrashing. The Reds were already without Emre Can, who had picked up a back injury in March against Watford. Henderson was also unavailable through suspension after accumulating too many yellow cards. It meant that it was the second time in the 2017-18 campaign that the manager had to throw Ginny in at the deep end, although this time it was nowhere near as unfamiliar as playing as part of a back three. There wasn't much choice, to be completely honest. The Dutchman, Milner and Chamberlain were the only senior midfielders available at Klopp's disposal. And also, not having Chamberlain in the Champions League final, I mean, that were a massive loss. I mean, it was slow to settle into Anfield, but Klopp knows what he's doing, and he was a genius. You know, he waited, he bided his time, Chamberlain came in, and he just looked brilliant. And we're missing him now. I mean, the results don't say that we are, but personally, I feel we are missing him in midfield. The boss had to call upon someone. That person was Wijnaldum. Ultimately, the absence of our only recognised defensive midfielders meant an opportunity had arisen for Ginny. It was just meant to be. It's fair to say most Liverpool fans were unsure of what to expect of him as the deepest lying midfielder in the team. The former Newcastle man found it tough in the first half, but after the break he took the game in his stride. A tale of two halves. He was absolutely crucial with his interceptions, blocks, cutting of passing lanes, and even played a part in that all-important Salah goal to kill off the tie. Fans had just witnessed Wijnaldum as a number 6 for the very first time. That was the start of something new. And if this is Wijnaldum's new role at Liverpool, he should grab it with both hands, as I think he's brilliant. He's a very, very, very good, versatile player. And congratulations for scoring your first away goal, mate. Took you long enough, but hey-ho, you've got it. It's there. Done. And what a team to do it against. Fast forward to the beginning of the 18-19 campaign, and the 27-year-old has played a huge part thus far after 5 games, starting every one, 4 of which as a defensive midfielder. Henderson had returned to the Liverpool team in game week 4, which meant Ginny was deployed as a number 8. The difference was telling. It's the lack of involvement that plays a huge part, and also the reason behind the myth of going missing in away games. In fact, Wijnaldum admitted back in August that Jurgen Klopp was demanding more from him in games. And this is a quote from Wijnaldum, I do believe. He said that I have to be more involved in games, and that there was too many times that I was not involved, and that it was easier to play a bad game. I was busy with that, and last season he was really busy with the number 6 position, while my head was in the number 8 position. But he said that's also the next step, that you can play in more positions than only one, because you have the qualities to play there and you can help the team do better. Credit to Ginny there. You know, he's basically admitting that, you know, it was recognised that he wasn't working hard enough, that he needed to work harder, he needed to think of other positions. He goes on to say, it appears Ginny Wijnaldum has taken that advice on board since the off, after being near faultless in every game he has played so far this season. For instance, against Brighton, the versatile midfielder took 80 minutes to misplace just one pass out of his 76 that day. Misplacing one pass out of 76, that's very impressive. That doesn't spell good news for Henderson or summer signing Fabinho. However, it's a great selection headache for Klopp to have. Again, Fabinho, we still haven't seen Fabinho. Now, whether this is just a case of Klopp's biding his time again, which I seriously believe it is, I honestly think that we may see him start against PSG. You know, he's got pedigree in Champions League. He knows that competition. He probably knows that competition more than our current midfield base. Take out of that maybe Milner. Because that's it. It's got to a point where I think we can all accept he is a top-class defensive midfielder, and I think he can become world-class. Now, I'm completely aware that it'll probably be looked at as a ridiculous statement to make, and perhaps a little reactionary, but he has got the potential to be. He has great composure on the ball, and he's someone who can dribble and pass his way out of tight situations. He's very good at holding up play. He's very good at shielding the ball, and he has quick feet. That I will agree with. Ginny boasts a 92.3% pass success percentage, which is higher than the likes of N'Golo Kante, Fernandinho, Matic and others this season. Of the three, only Kante has averaged more tackles than Wijnaldum in 18-19. The Dutchman always has plenty of energy to burn and rarely runs out of steam, which is emphasised by the fact he is one of 5 Liverpool players to register 450 plus minutes so far this season. He is not the tallest or the most physical defensive midfielder, but he can be ruthless and brutal at times. I love that word, brutal. It's just such a good word, isn't it? It's brutal. However, that's probably one trait he could improve. Throwing himself into tackles more often could help out his game further. And then, of course, Liverpool now take on PSG on Tuesday to kickstart their Champions League campaign. I would expect Klopp to stick to the same side that beat Tottenham Hotspur on Saturday, with Wijnaldum deployed as the 6 once again. However, I wouldn't be surprised to see one of Henderson or Fabinho come in. And let's be honest, I think everybody wants to see Fabinho. Everybody wants to see Fabinho. I'm desperate to see him. I'm desperate to see what our brand new centre defensive midfielder looks like. We paid a decent amount of money for him. It was a surprise signing. You know, I think we were all still sort of healing his own wounds from the final, because that one hurt. It did, it hurt. But then to wake up, I believe it was 2 days later, to see news that we had signed a very good player, you know, it was nice to see. So let's hope that we do see him. Let's just refresh the page so it has gone back to the top. I do apologise, but we'll look at one more, and then I think we'll end this video, and then I'd like to just say what I'd plan to do for the future. These fans brand Liverpool Sadio Mane selfish due to a specific incident in Reds win. I know there's probably a few people out there that's probably seen the Begovic reveals why Mourinho never looked happy, but I'm not going to make this anything to do with Man United. I know a lot of Liverpool fans will be out there looking for me to probably put a bit of, you know, rub it in there at United a bit, but we have to respect Man United. They are a massive side, and they will get better. They will. They had a good result again yesterday, minus Matic's red card. They should have killed game off, let's be honest, but, you know, moving on. Jurgen Klopp pleased Liverpool are not relying on Mohamed Salah, who we all know is not fit and firing. Mbappe, PSG are ready to do something big at Liverpool. Let's have a look at that one. Like I said, this will be the last one. I'm going to read this one out, and then let's just have a quick moment, and then I will be ending the video. According to Team Talk via Gazzetta dello Sport, Kylian Mbappe says he is excited about the prospect of playing at Anfield when Liverpool and PSG meet for the first Champions League matchday on Tuesday. Goes on to say that Mbappe did say, playing on Tuesday at Anfield against a big European club is the ideal way to debut our new kit. Of course, Liverpool is one of our main rivals, but I have good feelings about it. I think we're ready to do something big and positive. And what an absolute powerhouse Mbappe is. What any team would do at the moment to have him in their side. I mean, whew, bring it on. Come on. Come to Anfield, lad. Never going to happen, is it? So I think that'll be enough for today, guys. I am enjoying doing this. It's something that's helping me focus. But I also want to hear from you guys. You know, I do need to know if this is something you are enjoying. If it's not that good, just tell me straight up and I'll stop. But I am enjoying it. And I do want it to grow. If there's any advice, anything at all, please let me know in the comments below. If you do like this content, please subscribe, and I shall be uploading another video. You can be assured of that, whether you like it or not. Take care, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.